Hello MTV and welcome to my crib. Come on in. I'm gonna hold your hands while I say this. Your home is the key to having an organized mind. Welcome back to Tealy Approved. Today is day 8 of Vlogmas. Welcome to Vlogmas 2025. Do you ever come home and still feel stressed, feel like you can't sleep at night for some odd reason? The root cause of that might just be your feng shui without you even realizing it. So let's walk through how you can change that. And make sure to stick around to the end for the bonus tips and for the track of the day. So what is feng shui? Feng shui is an ancient Chinese practice of arranging your living space to create harmony and balance by managing the flow of energy called qi, also known as life force. This overall improves your well-being, your health, and your prosperity, and focuses on aligning with nature. Now, why is feng shui important? A calm and organized home leads to a calm and organized mind. Achieving feng shui should not be overwhelming or costly. You can very easily bring good energy to the home with things that you already have. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of rearrangement. I personally got into feng shui because ever since I started working, I was always a work from home employee. Because of that, that means that my home needed to allow me to work efficiently and have a clear mind in order to produce the results that I needed to. It took quite a few iterations for my home to be the way that it is now, but I am loving my home and I've loved every iteration of it as well. Let's talk about a few key principles that are a must in feng shui. Your home must be free of clutter. Clean home, clean mind. Another way of allowing great energy into your home is having a lot of light and a lot of air. It's not great to be living in a home that has a lack of windows because you're not allowing the energy to flow. There's also something called the commanding position. The commanding position is a spot in a room far from the door, but not directly in line with it, kind of diagonal. That spot gives you a good view of the room and the door. Typically, the commanding position is ideally where you want to spend most of your time in that room, and likely where you would put the most prevalent piece of furniture. So that looks like putting your couch in this area, or your bed, or your desk for your office. And the idea here is that this gives a sense of control and safety. Now, there are 5 elements in feng shui, being earth, metal, water, fire, and wood. And having all 5 of them in your home signifies that you have a balanced home and a fluid home. Wood represents expansiveness and vitality. Fire represents passion and brilliance. Earth represents grounding and stability. Water represents movement, tranquility, and wisdom. And metal represents efficiency and beauty. My favorite is metal. There are many different ways that you can reflect the elements in your home. This doesn't look like exactly having to have each piece of material in every single room. You can showcase this through shapes, colors, and materials, all the way from the furniture down to the small details. You can also add plants, flowers, use natural fabrics, candles, animal print, different colored type of lighting, and different types of artwork and mirrors. Another common principle in feng shui is having the balance between yin and yang. This looks like combining soft and cozy, yin, with vibrant and active, yang. The home has to be a combination of relaxation and liveliness. This also looks like fixing anything that is broken. And one of the final principles is that mirrors boost and reflect positive energy, but the placement of the mirrors is crucial. Now, with all of that being said, you don't need to have a house or a really big apartment in order to have feng shui in your home. You are able to craft that in your space as long as you are intentional with it. So let's do a walkthrough and see how feng shui has been embodied in my MTV crib. When you walk right in, this is the entryway of the home. The entryway in feng shui is known as the mouth of qi, being the portal where energy comes in and out because the door is right there. The first thing I like to do is always have lemons by the front door. Specifically, I have my lemons on the shelf right above all of my coats because it is known in many cultures that lemons actually soak up and absorb a lot of negative energy. Being in New York, you know, you're bumping into a lot of people, running into a lot of different types of energies. So I have all my coats hanging here and I essentially have the lemons soaking up all of this outside energy. Another thing that I like to do within this space is the shoes always come off in the home because it's another representation of bringing outside energy into the home. So shoes go on the floor, underneath my bench, or back in the closet. This is one of my favorite parts of the home. This is the drop zone. When coming inside, this is where I like to drop all of my items like mail, keys, other essentials. And this is kind of like my drop zone bowl that has things I'm grabbing daily whenever I come in and out the house. I also have this lovely mirror, and this mirror placement is directly next to the door, meaning that this attracts energy. But what you don't want to do is have the mirror directly in front of the door. So imagine if you walk in and there's a wall, don't put a mirror on that wall, because the mirrors reflect energy and you don't want the good energy that you have in your home to be reflecting back outwards towards the door. So having it on the side is a great placement. Also notice how the mirror is curved. So this more so embodies the water element. Let's move on to the kitchen. So my kitchen is really small, as you can see, but it does follow the rules of feng shui. First thing being is there should be no knives on your counter. Knives on the counter represent conflict in the home. We don't want that. Same thing with trash cans. I do not have a visible trash can in my space. My trash can is actually under my sink and pulls out. I will have the link to the exact trash can used in my Amazon storefront in the description of this video. Another feng shui tip is having a space for your groceries when you come home. If there is no spot to put your groceries in the kitchen, that is not good feng shui. There should always be some type of empty space to place the groceries, to cook, do any type of preparation. Now we enter the living room. So as mentioned earlier, the living room should obey the commanding position rule. This means that in a particular place in the room, farthest from the door should have an automatic view of the door. And the couch does exactly that. Now granted, this is New York, so it's not the biggest living room, but there is nothing in the way when walking through the home. Here's what my living room used to look like. Whew. You can see the way that it has transformed from then to now. So feng shui definitely takes practice, but it's something that you can definitely accomplish over time. This is my favorite mirror in the home because this is where I take all of my outfit pictures. The important part of the placement here in the living room is that this mirror actually reflects artwork in the home, hence my Lego collection. Having a reflection of artwork means that you're doubling the positive energy that's coming into the home. So it's a really great rule of thumb. Next is my office. This is ideally where I spend most of my time. This also follows the commanding position as close as I can. Ideally far from the door, diagonal. The only thing is it doesn't have a view of the door, but it does follow another rule of thumb for the office, which is your desk should never face a wall, because when you're thinking, your thoughts will get stuck to that wall, whereas your desk, it should have a flow of energy around it. Allows your thoughts to think freely in the room. And this is where I edit the content for all of you lovelies. Another important tip in the office space is making sure that all of the cords and wires are hidden. This is actually a sewing desk, and a lot of my technology stays in drawers underneath here. Your office should be calm and peaceful, and typically that's where most people will put their plants. My few living beings. Work can bring stress, work can bring happiness, work can bring a lot of different emotions, so we want to make sure that the office is an embodiment of a peaceful environment. Now moving on to the bedroom. Oh, by the way, habit tracker is going well. We still got a dot for every day of Vlogmas. Ideally, the bedroom should ultimately reflect peace because this is where you are resting. The bed follows the commanding position. The bed is right here and the door is right here. The one major rule that you have to follow in your bedroom is that your bed should not face the opening of a door. If my head is right here and my feet are here facing the door, in Chinese culture, they call this the death position, meaning that when people pass away in their homes and they're carried out of the room, they're carried out with their feet first out the door and then their head next. Never, ever, ever, ever have your bed facing the door. Another key component is no TVs. No television. The bedroom is a place for rest. Another tip is that there shouldn't be any dolls or figurines facing you while you sleep. Having human-like inanimate objects means that you are being watched and observed, and that definitely is not an energy that you want to have while sleeping. This even means no artwork, no photography, nothing that shows faces. Another item that should not be facing the bed is a mirror. There shouldn't really even be that many mirrors in the bedroom. Because mirrors serve as a reflection of energy, and because the bedroom is a place of rest, you don't want that energy bouncing back off of you while resting. So if you feel like you can't sleep at night, maybe there's a mirror next to you or in front of you that you should move out of the room. And if you have any artwork in your bedroom, none of it should be angry or abrasive. Any kind of artwork that shows that kind of anger should be outside of the bedroom. And I think it's time for track of the day. Given that we are right here in front of my controller, it's turning on. I love how this is Vlogmas Day 8 and there is another sound system being shown in this Vlogmas series, which is my Yamaha speakers. Today's track of the day is Disco's Revenge Mole Hole Dirty Mix. Guys, should I mix in a track? Let's move on to the bathroom. The bathroom is one of my favorite spots because I spend a lot of time here doing my hair, sometimes my makeup, and even my Sunday spa days. There are two major rules to the bathroom, which is the door should always be closed, as well as the toilet lid. If you can't tell, I love pink and purple lighting. The reason you want to have the door and the toilet lid always closed because that means you're flushing your energy and your money down the drain. Always keep them closed at all times. I also like to use earthy tones in the bathroom. I have like a fake eucalyptus plant in the shower, which brings some liveliness to the bathroom. I also have granite wallpaper all over, even on the ceiling. Initially, it was an all white bathroom, but I love a dark bathroom because it's so moody. Like, you can't tell me that it's not moody in here. And lastly, I have a mirror actually behind the door. I just love having mirrors all around in the home. So why not just have another one in the bathroom? Now it's time for the bonus tips. You should have a money corner in your home. The money corner is when you walk in the front door and it is the most far left corner of your home. That is the corner designated for money, abundance, and prosperity. In that corner, you should have items that reflect all 5 elements in your home, further amplifying the balance and flow into the home. This can look like putting a plant there, a candle, having it by a window so that there is some air, and just putting things that make you feel abundant in that corner. Another tip, have a smart home. You don't have to have an expansive home to have a smart home. This looks like just having smart plugs, smart lights. Every light in my home is a smart light, and that is because, especially in the evening, I like to have a soft and moody ambiance when coming home or relaxing, and even when working. I love having my pink light on. Also recommend getting some type of hub. That is essentially where your smart lights will connect to. I am on the Google Home ecosystem. I have my hub right there actually, which is my clock. I also like to use my hub as my alarm clock. That way I'm not using my phone to sleep under my pillow or have my phone in my room before going to bed. It further eliminates any restlessness you might have in the bedroom. I would love for you to try one thing from this video and let me know how that worked out for you in your home. Thank you for tuning along for Vlogmas Day 8, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my gosh, Zeus, we can watch more tomorrow. I know you like rewatching the vlogs.